Hi there, Asma. Let's take a look at this new set of essays you sent to us. Online communication is more common in workplaces than before. Let's see what you wrote about this. In numerous workplaces, the issue of online communication rather than face-to-face meetings has grown in importance over the last few months. While electronic communication has its own benefits on the whole, I believe that the drawbacks outweigh the advantages. Okay, this essay will analyze both sides using an example from the UK government and a hypothetical example. Okay, the drawbacks outweigh the advantages. Fine, you're going to analyze both. Fine. So let's move on. On the one hand, there is ample evidence that supports the benefits of online communication. This is due to the fact that face-to-face meetings are considered to be time-consuming compared to online meetings. For example, in the workplace, an employee can manage to do 10 meetings online a day in just 5 hours, whereas if the meetings were held in real life, it would have been prolonged. Consequently, it is possible to state beyond doubt that the largest benefit to such technology is the potential for efficient use of time. Okay, your grammar is absolutely lovely. You had some nice, sophisticated grammatical structures in that paragraph, and I quite liked it. I do have a question. I'm just going to hold off on, let me see. Okay, 300 words. All right, fine. Oh, wait, no, not 300. Hold on. Let me try it one more time. Okay, yeah, 280. It's good. All right, it was a well-written paragraph, but we're going to talk a little bit about it when we get to the end, okay? So, on the other hand, although there is a case for the benefits of online communication, the detrimental impact it has on employees cannot be overstated. This is largely because communicating online at work rather than face-to-face can cause feelings of loneliness, and this could lead to unhappiness at work as well as depression. For example, recent empirical research by the UK government demonstrated that 90% of employees who communicate digitally at work suffer from feelings of loneliness and depression. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that the negative impact online therefore it is conclusively clear that online communication has a negative impact on workers. Okay, your word order was wrong here. To conclude from the arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that lack of face-to-face interaction can lead to mental health problems. Therefore, the cons of online communication are greater than the pros. Okay. Now, Asma, you did a few things in this essay that I really liked. The first thing that you did that I liked is you answered the question absolutely appropriately. In other words, the focus here is on online communication, and if its prevalence, has more advantages or disadvantages. And you answered exactly that, and that was great because a lot of students actually do this wrong. Instead, what they do is they talk about the benefits of online communication, then they talk about the benefits of face-to-face meetings, but that's not what the question asked. And you understood this absolutely, and you were very focused, and you were very targeted in your response, and so that was wonderful. The second thing that was really great about this essay is the grammar was absolutely appropriate. There were very few, if any, errors. High level, correct, really well done. I think that what keeps this from being a top-notch essay, like scoring high on all bands, and when I mean high, I mean, in the top, well, I guess top 2 bands for task achievement or task response is the development. In other words, I think if you had said just a little more in each of these paragraphs, then we'd be looking at potentially an 8 or a 9 for task achievement. Now, I'm not sure if that's the score you're working on. I can't remember. You may have told us already, but basically, let me tell you why I say that, because it talks about the advantages and disadvantages. You essentially gave us one advantage, okay? And the fact that these meetings, online meetings, are more efficient in terms of time. Okay, so that was one advantage. Now, I know from experience that there are some IELTS examiners that take these instructions in the prompt, they take them very literally. So when it says advantages, they expect you to write more than one. Okay. Other examiners don't really care so much. They feel that, well, as long as you've done a really good job of, exploring and expanding and so forth, then you're fine, even if it's one. Um, but I always prefer to be, kind of a worst case scenario person. So I would have liked you to potentially have mentioned maybe one more advantage of this. Okay. Um, and even if you didn't explore it quite as much as you did this one, if you had at least written two more sentences about the advantages, I would have felt a little more at ease, because this way I've been like, okay, well, yeah, we definitely talked about advantages plural. Okay. So again, not all examiners are going to see this exactly the same way. And unfortunately, um, there's no really cut and dry answer in the world of examiners for this issue. It's kind of a matter of perspective. So I know that makes it a little difficult for the student, and that's why I suggest, being more cautious and potentially just having two advantages, even if it just means writing, a couple of extra sentences. So writing the main idea and then writing some support for that idea. So that's pretty much it. Other than that, I think you've got a really great essay here. Let's see. Yeah, no, it was fine. I was going to say something about the vocabulary. I thought it was pretty precise. I don't really have any major issues with it. Do I want to see some more high-level collocations? Well, yeah, perhaps that would be nice. You did have some nice language. That's certain. But I would like to see maybe a little more high-level collocations in these essays as well. Okay. But overall, I want you to feel really good about this essay because I thought you did a great job. Okay. All right. So let's take a look now at your letter to Mr. Jackson, who I wanted you to put a comma after his name. Okay. Let's see. Dear Mr. Jackson, comma, I hope this letter finds you well. I'm writing in response to the advert for a full-time recruitment position in Jobs Plus newspaper this date. I would like to request to apply for the advertised position. Let me explain my situation in more detail. I have been working as a part-time recruitment manager for the last year. Although I have been enjoying the job, I was struggling to pay my rent on time due to low income considering that I work part-time. For this reason, I have decided to apply for a full-time position. I would like to work for this company as a full-time permanent recruitment manager. My future goal is to become an expert in my field and improve my networking skills. I believe I have the experience and the skills required for this role. Additionally, I know how the system of the company works, hence why I believe I will provide many opportunities for improvement. Thank you in advance. Yours sincerely. Don't forget your comma. Okay, so again, you've got an essay that is pretty flawless in terms of the grammar. You could see I didn't really make any corrections. I didn't see any errors. Let's see. What I maybe wanted was a couple of things. All right, first of all, I hope this letter finds you well is okay. It's not super formal, but presumably Mr. Jackson and you may work with him, and so maybe it would be okay. It's a little more neutral-ish. So it's fine. In formal letters, I usually don't like this kind of language, or like a "how are you" or something like that. It's not really appropriate. Usually we just start with the reason why we're writing. Now, what I didn't really love in your letter was that you didn't really make it clear in the beginning that you already work for this company. Okay? So I wanted that kind of context to be a little clearer. You said, I'm writing in response to the advert for a full-time recruitment position in Job Plus newspaper. Okay. And just something really simple like, this is a wonderful opportunity for me as I already work for the company in a part-time capacity. Okay. Therefore, I would like to request permission to apply for the advertised job. Okay, so just something like that. You just make it clearer that this isn't just any old job application, but you're already in the company and you'd like to be considered for this full-time position. Okay, and then again, this kind of lack of clarity continued in your next paragraph. I would like to work for this company as a full-time. All right, great. But but make it a little more that you already work for the company. So, now since I have been at the company already for 2 years, I am really excited about seeking new opportunities and new challenges, particularly in a full-time capacity. Okay, so something like that. All right, you didn't really mention anything about working for the company until the very, very end. You said, I know how the system of the company works, hence why I believe I will provide many opportunities for employment. Okay, I wasn't super crazy with this expression either. What does that mean? I will provide opportunities for improvement? That doesn't really make sense that you will provide these opportunities. I think you mean something else that, let's see, I think you mean something like, hence why I believe that, I will add great value to the company in this new role. Okay, something like that, okay? That would have been better. The other thing here is that it would have been nice if you had had maybe some better paragraphing. It wasn't entirely, well, yeah, I guess this is a new paragraph, but I would have then maybe liked your kind of closing to be in its own paragraph. That's important to do as well. Paragraphing is not extremely important in task 1, but it is something that will make the difference between a good score and like a really, really good score. So if you're aiming for a really, really good score, then you do want to focus on paragraphing as well. Let's see. So that's pretty much it. I thought it was obviously very nice. As I already said, the grammar was perfect. You covered the points, but I just didn't think that you set up the context of this letter really appropriately. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's mostly it. Oh, and another thing. This is something that we generally avoid in a cover letter. We don't really talk about money, and we don't talk about like paying my rent. All this information is considered a little personal. So even better would just be, I am ready to take on new responsibilities. I am enthusiastic about expanding my role within the company. So this kind of language is really more appropriate rather than talking about money, rather than talking about your rent or any other information that's considered kind of personal. Okay, so just some things like that. Those were what I wanted to see a little different here. But again, in general, I thought you did a very good job with this. Okay, so go ahead, correct these. Let's see your next set of essays, and I'll be waiting. Okay, so good luck.